Okay, as we've had a lot of new subscribers come on recently, I want to welcome all the new subscribers, but wanted to do a little bit of a fill-in type episode here to let you know what's going on with my current situation and the truth about Walter's house and the tree. There's been a lot of confusion that I can tell by some of the postings from people wondering what's going on, and some people actually suggesting that I just move back into my van and abandon Walter's house. Now, you're probably saying that because you're thinking that, you know, that this tree issue is overwhelming and something I can't handle, and that it's going to break my agreement with Walter for me moving into his house, you know, to house sit and take care of the tree. What you may not realize is that this whole thing with the tree and me cutting it down was not a stipulation for living here. Matter of fact, even the rent wasn't a stipulation. You need to know that Walter is truly a great guy. He was a viewer of this channel and saw my situation and wasn't looking to take advantage of me, to have me come here and remove this tree that's sitting here, or me looking to take advantage of Walter. That's not how things went down. Walter's actually just a viewer, like most of you. And he happened to be in a position where he was looking at my situation, and he saw, you know, that I was pretty much out there living at the yurt. I think that's when he was starting to make the connection and getting the idea that he might be able to help me out. And then I took a job at the mobile home park, and I hadn't announced it, but I was actually looking to settle down if I could find a place to rent, possibly one of the units from the mobile home. And it was through coincidences, you know, that Walter ended up contacting me that same day that I was applying for a house. I was applying for a mobile unit. So that was all just strange and weird coincidences, and that has occurred, you know, just one of the many coincidences. And I guess, as Walter says, he likes the word synchronicities that has occurred. But he ended up calling me and told me that he had a house that he would let me stay at, you know, for house sitting. And then, you know, he asked, you know, well, he told me about the house and warned me about the neighbor's dogs, you know, and especially the one that like bit people several times. You can see they're here all the time. One's climbing up there on the trampoline playing. But Walter essentially invited me to come here and stay at his house instead of being stuck out there at the yurt during the hurricane. And then, you know, he said if I could help him remove the tree, that would be great. So I told him I would do the best that I could, which is why you see me working so hard on it. This wasn't a stipulation that I do that. This is something I want to do for my friend Walter, who's got an issue that he already spent a lot of money on. Those of you who are new, you don't understand that he already paid money to have somebody come help remove this, and they didn't remove it. They did like I don't want to use bad words, but they essentially cut down some of the trunks. Let's go look at it. They cut down some of the tree, but they left pieces all over the place in his yard, and they didn't remove it. So you can see there were trunks that were cut here. These are cuts made by a chainsaw. So Walter spent a lot of money, and I think he also gave the neighbor, you know, the ones right here, some money to help remove the tree, but that didn't happen. That dog is jumping. You can see that sound there. That may be the sound you hear before I get eaten. But anyhow, what happened was they cut down the tree, but threw all the stumps all over his yard, which is why there were holes and stuff here. What you're looking at here are all the stumps that I have moved that I ended up making a little area here, Camp Freedom 4, and I hauled off a bunch of it already. And I've cut the other pieces of the trunks and what's that, the roots that were coming out here. There were giant roots coming out here too, out this far. So I started to move that initially and clear out his yard. And the reason I did that was trying to do what I'm doing right now, which is slowly working my way through the tree. So as far as me skipping out on Walter on the tree, that's not going to happen, because I intend to do the best that I can to take this tree out. You know, it was not a stipulation or something that I have to do in order to be allowed to stay at Walter's house. And even the rent itself and how much I pay was not something Walter came up with. Just to show you the kind of guy he really is. Because I get kind of sad when I hear people say bad things about Walter, because they really don't understand. And I guess it's in human nature that people assume that other people are always looking out to get them. But my experience with life, and even viewers of this channel for the most part, is that most people are kind. Not everyone is out to get everyone else, and not everyone is out to try to take advantage of other people and, you know, make things good for themselves by taking advantage of other people. When Walter let me stay at his house, you know, he asked me to draft up the agreement. There actually wasn't even going to be an agreement, but I wanted to have an agreement for a leasing agreement in case I had to get, you know, power or things turned on to show that I live here. So he let me draft up whatever I wanted to, and I drafted up a rate, you know, that he and I talked about what I might be able to afford to try to help him, you know, at least pay taxes and whatnot on the house, even though it's like way under what the value is here. He's let me stay at a house that I could never afford right now in my situation. And as far as the tree and everything else, that's just something I told him I would try to do. And there's some other projects that I want to try to do here with regards to this house to try to make it better, because it's not just a sole like landlord-tenant type relationship. It's more of a friend relationship. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't know Walter prior to meeting him with this house and whatnot, but, you know, after I met him and in my dealings with him, I'm glad to be able to say that I consider Walter a friend. He's never once pressed me about payments, about rent, about working on the tree. He's never harassed me, or he's kind of just left me alone. And it's because he trusts me, and I don't intend to abuse that trust. I don't intend to abuse somebody who has been kind to me. I mean, like above and beyond. You know, he's been kinder to me than sometimes people in my own flesh and blood family, you know. So, those of you who are kind of mean, you know, I just want you to consider that not everyone is mean, and that some people genuinely have a heart of gold. Walter's one of those people, you know. Charles also did a lot of helping, and there was a lot of other people here. NH Libra has helped a lot. There's been a lot of people who have helped throughout the channel, you know, the life of the channel so far. And I don't always point out these people and stuff, because a lot of people, they do things not because they want to hear their name or see their names in lights and whatnot. They do it because they're genuinely nice, you know. They see an opportunity where they can help someone, and they take advantage of that. They don't take advantage of the person. They take advantage of that one chance, that opportunity to step up to the plate and actually try to make a difference in someone's life. And that's not something you always get a chance to do. And the people who have stepped up to help, they know who they are. You know, and Walter is one of them. And I thought it was worth taking the time to let viewers know, especially those who are new and don't really know the full situation. Walter himself is not a rich person. He's well, I guess you would, financially, I would say maybe he's not a rich person, but I would say he's extremely rich in the sense of his heart and his attitude on life and his outlook. You know, a lot of people have a lot of fear, and it prevents them from doing things. Like, Walter never met me, yet he trusted me completely with his house. Yeah, his instructions simpler were for me to come here and live here as if this were my house. So, you know, I've been trying to do repairs, I've been trying to fix things up for myself as well as for Walter, because somebody does something kind to you, you don't just shrug it off. You know, you need to step back and appreciate exactly what they've done. He didn't just provide me shelter, he's trying to provide me a foundation for some stability and to get my life back in order, which is what I'm currently trying to do. And for that, I'm going to be grateful forever, you know, not just for Walter, but for all the other people who have stepped up and tried to help. I just thought it was worth pointing out because some of the comments I see are very disparaging, and it makes me sad, not for Walter, because I don't think Walter would be sad reading it because he just shrugged those people off. Well, what I feel sad for is the person making those kind of comments. They either have had a very rough life or very different circumstances than what I have and Walter's had in dealing with people. I know that not everyone in the world is nice and kind, and not everything is honky-dory, but you choose the kind of people you want in your life and the kind of person you want to be. Now, you can't always choose situations that come up, but you can choose how you respond. And you can choose what kind of path you wish to lead in your life. And you can either let fear determine that, or you can decide that there's nothing to be afraid of but fear itself. And you trust your gut, and you treat people the way you want to treat them. And if you have that kind of attitude, and you want to be a good person, you know, then be a good person. If you want to help people, then help people. And I'm not talking about me personally, but you see people around you, you know, volunteer some time at the homeless shelters, the soup kitchens, or just bring out blankets or old clothes or whatever to help the people who are in need, you know. If nothing else, you could help, like right now, like a lot of people have done with me on this channel. They're helping us by keeping the channel alive, helping, you know, by running the playlists and things like that. Some people have the anti-ad things, the ad blockers turned on. When you do that and you're watching a channel, you're actually hurting the very channel that you're watching, because ads that should be running on there are being blocked, and that's how that person makes any income. Now, for some people, they don't care, and that's fine, you know, that's on you. But if you're benefiting from watching someone's channel and they're not asking you for anything, it may not hurt to let the ads run for those people. It's probably the least you could do. Now, a lot of people have tried to do more than that. I've had people send me things. Some people offer to send material goods. I typically try to shy away from that kind of stuff because, you know, I think there are a lot more people who are more deserving than I am. Now, in the past, when I was actually, you know, down to pennies and stuff like that, it was actually like a godsend, and it's almost like a signal went out to these people. Like Mark Charles today, it was so hot. I know some of you don't think it's that big a deal, but if you actually are living full-time in your van in Florida in July, and you got no fan, you could die from heat stroke. So him sending the money when he did, he didn't know about it, okay? He just sent it, okay? Because he felt that the channel was beneficial to him, and he appreciated it and just wanted to let me know. But that was just a very kind gesture. I'm not saying for people to do that. I'm not looking for that right now. I think financially I'm somewhat okay right now, as long as I can try to get another job lined up here soon. Or if not that, if this channel, this YouTube channel actually takes off and starts making a decent amount of not content, but earnings from the advertising, which can happen because lately they've been running multiple ads. So those of you who've been running the playlists, like the whole vlogs playlist, or the bushcraft, you know, living in the yurt playlist, or the van builds and stuff, that's helping extremely, because instead of getting paid once, if you let everything run through, because YouTube's running two sets of ads now, it seems like, I'm getting like pretty much double pay. So this is a really good time to step up and help if you'd like to help in that regards. In the meantime, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I just hope that you'll think twice before, you know, saying negative things about people and situations that you may not truly know about. And I understand that you're saying it based on your own experiences and stuff, but it's probably not a good thing to always assume negativity and that people are negative, because not everyone is negative. Some people are truly kind and actually see beyond themselves and will actually sacrifice a bit to help someone else. Why? Simply because they feel that they're in a better position, and they're in a position where they can help someone who's not as well off. So until next time, everybody, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you all for hopefully thinking about this subject and letting people know you appreciate them, you know, when you see them, and understanding that you control the life that you want to live and the kind of person that you want to be. And if you want to be a certain type of person, the time to do that is basically now. You know, tomorrow's not promised. You don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. The dog could hop the fence and come and eat me up for all I know. So live your life as if every moment was your last, because it just might be. And understand that your life is what you make of it. Until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. And you're all in my thoughts and prayers.